Having clarity of purpose helps us to know exactly what our assignment is. Our vision becomes clearer and we get to have a picture of where we are going. Unfortunately, we often start off with a picture that looks like this, but we end up with something looking like this, all because of distraction and lack of focus. But if we learn to keep these distractions away from our lives, we are capable of moving from something like this to something like this. Hi, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Chantal and I welcome you to Shanti Bloom. Here I share applicable principles and simple practical steps that will help you move away from that place of feeling stuck and unproductive over to where you bloom and flourish in your everyday life, and doing so God's way. So if that's something that you desire for yourself, then please consider subscribing. Come on over and join this beautiful family of bloomers. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 4 simple and very practical tips on how to avoid distractions while pursuing your dreams, your purpose in life. But before we get to those tips, it is very important that we keep in mind that not every distraction is very obvious. Take for example, I'm sitting here, I have to hand in a homework by 12 midnight. I'm just a couple of hours to midnight and I'm busy scrolling down my phone. That's very obvious, that's a distraction. But if I'm sitting here trying to finish up that homework, that assignment, and then suddenly a friend calls me to talk about the assignment for 2 hours, and then I have other people coming in with different textbooks and resources, things that I need to do the homework, everything is contradicting. I'm trying to figure things out while we're spending all this time talking about the homework. If it is not taking me a step further into doing my homework, it is a distraction. It may not look so obvious, but it's a distraction because the clock is ticking and it's about to hit midnight. One of the reasons why we get super busy about our assignments and we don't even realize that we are not doing the assignment is because the distractions are within the assignment. There were times that I was so busy trying to be the perfect mom that I ended up not actively being a mom. Times when I was trying to be the perfect wife and I end up not actively being the wife. Times when I'm trying so hard to be on top of my game as a child of God that I end up not being a child and just enjoying fellowship with my Father. If you are busy doing instead of being, then you are distracted. Unfortunately, these are the type of distractions that come to people who mean business. When you tell yourself, I want to be more serious with my spiritual life, I want to be more serious with my relationships, how I raise my children, with my academics, with my career, with my God-given assignments, that is when the enemy steps in with these type of distractions that are very subtle and disguised. Now, let me get you back to that salad story so that you can get the 4 simple tips on how to avoid these distractions in your life. If you have young kids or have been around them, you must have realized that getting them to eat the amount of vegetables that they need can be very challenging. So as parents, we are constantly looking for new recipes, new ways to present these vegetables to them in a way that they are going to accept it and hopefully start wanting it. If you have been a parent for a very long time, you probably have already figured out, a couple of ways to get those vegetables down there. But if I'm a new mom, this may be very challenging. Challenges of a new beginning, right? I have to start off by picking the vegetable I want them to have for today. Let's say I pick a salad. I now have to start off with my lettuce. Then I'm thinking, plain romaine lettuce? That's not green enough. This thing has to be super healthy. So I add my cucumbers. Oh no, they are too big. Maybe I should chop them up into smaller pieces that my kids can handle. The salad needs some color. And I think I need to also add something sweet. Can I stop here? Maybe I can, but I won't, because this salad, it's not as good as the one my friend gives to her kids. I need to top it up. So I think I'm going to add some more color and some more sweet. It's for kids after all. And what about something crunchy? Who doesn't enjoy different textures in their food? And oh, it's Valentine's Day. Maybe I should put those heart-shaped Cheerios. My kids would definitely love this. So now I end up with something that looks like this. Looking at it, I can't even remember what my initial goal was. What did I say I wanted to make for my kids again? Oh, salad. This looks nothing like salad. These are the kind of distractions I'm talking about. How many times have we set out to build a happy marriage, raise up godly kids, pursue that career, build that great business, identify a local church where you can serve and grow, and then down the road you just have no idea where you are. You can't even recognize where you are, what you set out to do. And I understand, nobody sets out intentionally wanting to be distracted. A lot of these distractions come about because we have a gift that we want to present to the world, and we're trying to find out the best way that we can wrap up this gift such that the receiver is going to accept it, enjoy it, and it will meet their need. But if I pay so much attention to the wrapping to the point where the gift suffers, then it becomes a distraction because the receiver is going to consume the gift and not the wrapping. So in order to keep all these distractions away from our lives, tip number 1, clearly state your why and frequently revisit it so that you can see if you're still heading down the right path or if you are going astray. Why did I want to make a salad for my kids? Because I wanted them to get some vegetables. I started off right, but before I knew it, I got distracted by competition. Oh, my friend's salad is always better than mine, so I have to top up my game. And then I want to impress, I want to add all of the things that are going to make my salad extra special, extra unique. All these things had nothing to do with my why. Some of the things that make us stray away from our path is people. We ignore that strong conviction that God put in us and we start trying to satisfy the opinion of men. If we must follow our God-given conviction, then we should be ready that we may disappoint a few people from time to time, including ourselves. The influence that others have on our lives become even stronger when we don't have clarity and when we are suffering from self-doubt, which is why in this mini-series I had decided to tackle the issue of finding clarity and also overcoming self-doubt, because I can still look back and see the times when I was greatly influenced by external factors because of lack of clarity and because there was some self-doubt lingering inside somewhere. Another one is self. We quickly forget that it's about service, and now we bring in pride, we bring in our ego, we're trying to impress, we're trying to build this fame for ourselves. We're actually building God's kingdom for His glory, and so each and every one of us, we should be careful how we build. Number 2, do not walk through every single open door you find. People and things have their time and their place in your vision. Not every open door is meant for you to walk through right now. Some open doors are meant for now, some are meant for later, and some doors are just a no-no. Sometimes we think that distractions are just the things that we add in our vision. Sometimes they're the things that we do not add. When the enemy wants to distract us, he will either add things that are not needed and keep us all busy, or he will blind our eyes to the things that we need to add, the connections we need to make, so that we can stay back and nothing will be done. So this brings us to tip number 3, which is to create quiet moments for ourselves. It is very difficult, if not impossible, for you to know which doors you can really walk through or not walk through if you do not step back from time to time and get away from the noise. Be calm, quiet, so that you can see clearly and hear clearly in your spirit. And please take note that not everything that distracts us is a bad thing in itself. Many times they are just misplaced priorities. There are times when we have to say no to the good in order to say yes to the great. During these quiet moments, ask yourself, do I really need all these connections? Or are there some connections I should be making that I am not making? Do I really need to go for all these conferences and buy all these books? Or are there some conferences I should be attending and some books I should be buying and some people I should be connecting with that I am not doing so? Do I really need all the apps on my phone? Must I have all the notifications turned on? Must I be everywhere? Should I fit social media in all the free times that I have in between tasks? Ask yourself these questions, and if you answer them honestly, it will also help you take away some of those obvious distractions like technology. There are times when I get so overwhelmed and I feel like there is so much to be done and very little time to do it. But when I step back and I create those quiet moments for myself, I'm able to see clearly that there are some things I'm worried about that I should not be, because they are not meant for now. And there are even some that have no business in my vision at all. So breathe, take a step back, and together with God, go through your why. If there's any excess weight that you put on, shed it. And if right now you're malnourished and underweight, then put on those pounds that are needed to be put on. The final tip is that write things down. I know many times we think that we are so good at keeping mental notes of things, but we will forget. Trust me, there are some things that kind of come to my mind again at the beginning of motherhood or my career or even this YouTube channel that I just wished I had written them down in that moment, how I felt them, how I thought about them, so that when you get back to those things, you can see what worked, what did not work, what are the mistakes that you made so that you can avoid, what are the things that you can keep doing or you can improve on. This is not a call for you to go crazy writing everything from morning to night, but just noting down some key things so that when you look back and you're trying to see if you're still on track, these things can help you. These things can also help you see the little wins and victories that will encourage you so that you can stay focused when distractions come. So now please thumbs up this video if you found it helpful, and please let me know in the comment section below what are some of the distractions that you have faced in the past or are facing right now, and how are you overcoming them. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.